Hey everyone, I think it looks like we're live. Yay. I've got background behind me. I don't know what I did in my darn camera. And so now it's got this blue background. Anyway, I have redone our intro clip. As soon as I can find that, I'm going to Oh, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and play this. It's around 3 minutes long. So this is your time to go grab your hot coffee, your hot tea, whatever you like to sip on, and meet me back. So take your potty breaks now. Where's the music? Forgot I muted the microphone there for a minute. Sorry, guys. So I was getting, I don't know what you all decided to get, but I got me some hot cocoa. It is cold here in Northeast Kansas today. I was talking to a friend in Michigan and they've got snow, and usually either I get it first or then they get it. And it's just kind of fun to watch how the weather does its thing. Oh, I have this background. It gets me. I don't know what I did, how I set that up. But anyway, I think that's a little bit better than it was before. Let me go into the comments. And I should be able to see everyone. Yes, I think we're all here on YouTube. Just a quick hello, because we have a lot more to talk about this week than we did last week. Looks like there's 22 of you in the house watching me. I'm going to ask you, I'm not even going to put the ticker out today. I'm going to ask you all to take just a minute and give me that thumbs up. That's going to help me get this out in the algorithm. And if you have a second or you're able to, I really appreciate when you all go ahead and share this out like on your community tabs and things. Let me make sure my notifications and things, I've got that silenced, and hopefully the dogs and everybody will be settled this week, but no guarantees, no promises. Anyway, so yeah, that just helps get more people in here and brings the attention, because I love when we can have lots of us in here talking and getting questions and stuff going. So let's see. Quick hello to Penny, Heidi, Amanda, Connie, Tara, Deborah, Nancy. Where are we at? Sherry's here. No Pinterest videos on here. I slop stuff too. Yeah, I love that too. It's just real life. I'm hoping that I always show myself that way, and the people that I'm bringing on, I feel like they're the same way too. Let's see, Nancy, Deborah. I think I said hello to everyone there. Sherry, Sue, Cookie, Brenda. Oh, it's Sarah. Hey, hi, Ray. How are you, bud? If you can't see me in person, by golly, you're going to see me here. So excited that you guys are here too. Yay. Yeah, I know. I had to run out real quick and turn the heater on because the oil is too thick to run any machinery. So I did that. I got my hot cocoa. And Amanda, did I say hi to you? I think I've just about said hi to everyone in the room today. I'm so excited. I'm trying to get a guest each week, and unfortunately that's not working out. So y'all have to talk to me in the chat, and I'll try to pay attention the best I can. But unfortunately, my guest for this week was also the video that was today. And if you haven't seen that, you will know why she was unable to be on here today. She actually is donating a prize. And so we talk about that. And anyway, so we'll just bear with just me today, guys. Sorry about that. Loving that hot cocoa. So let's go back, and what do I want to do first? Let's see. I have notes. I'm so proud of myself. Let's go over the Friday fun fact. So I have done in the past the Friday fun fact, and then the year before that I did the live, and this year I'm doing both. So I hope that you're just enjoying that. Oops. Did I miss? I'm sorry. I thought took me just a minute to catch on to that. That was a good one. Okay. All right. Let's settle in here to what we're going to do. The Friday fun fact. It was about benefits of freeze drying. So what I did is I researched what the top 5 questions were about freeze drying. And so each week we're going to touch on one of those. And so the second one that came up was, what are the benefits of freeze drying foods? And so I thought I would touch base on what they had discussed in the little tidbit, and we'll get into it a little bit further. So it retains your taste, texture, and nutrition. So we'll dive into that just a little bit. So your taste, your flavor is absolutely there. Actually, I believe a lot of the things intensify just because it's more concentrate, if that makes sense to you. And then the texture, what I think that is mostly is when you rehydrate, because obviously the texture does change when you freeze dry it. So it's going to get dry and hard a lot of times. for example, all I can think of right now is a marshmallow, but let's think of something else like a piece of ham. It's going to get dry and flaky, and it's not going to be like beef jerky when you dehydrate, but it's going to have the same size. So if you dice it, that same dice usually is what you'll get. And that's what I really love about measurements. So, like if I measure out a cup of peppers or a cup of mushrooms or whatever, it's going to be the equal measurements in recipes, and you can swap it out so easy. So the texture when you rehydrate it though is going to go back to that little quartered piece of ham that you have. And so that's what that means. And then the nutrition, I'm going to break that down even a little bit further for you. Um, so your proteins like your ham and your beef and whatever, you're going to retain 90 to 95% of those of the protein. Vitamin C is 80 to 90%. Vitamin B is 90 to 95%. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are over 95% retained. This is amazing. So overall, we're looking at an 80 to 95% retention on your nutrition when you freeze dry. And depending on whether you dehydrate or you freeze or you whatever other methods, canning, things like that, you're going to have loss no matter what. You lose it from taking it from the garden to the house and letting it sit on the counter. You start losing. But at that point where you freeze dry it, that is the loss that you might see. When you can or freeze, it's usually a bigger loss. And so that's a big thing. Let's see, I'm make sure I'm saying. Oh, thanks, Tara. You're so sweet. Jamie, glad you're here. I know. It was sad, and she was really disappointed to not get to come on and join us. But I was like, no, you be where you need to be, and don't worry about this. Maybe she can pop in on another time. Let's see. And the next thing was lightweight. So for me, when I think about that, what some of the benefits of that are going to be is, your backpacking or hiking and things like that, kayaking, all that stuff. Anything you're going to be active camping. But I also think that people are forgetting about this. As we age, it gets more difficult to do things. And things like canning, it gets harder. That's why I love my steam canner versus a water bath canner, because I don't have to lift this big old heavy thing, this pot full of water and jars and stuff in it. It's so heavy. So even for storage on your shelf, when you go to grab off that top shelf, you can do that now. But, as you age, it's going to be harder to reach further and things are heavier and you lose your muscles and, you're not as toned as you used to be. And you need to think about those kind of things. Like when you're storing foods, even canned goods from the store, this is going to be much lighter and easier on you as you age. That's my thought with that. And then for whatever reason, I put snack or meal. I think I was thinking for traveling, just basic traveling. And then the other thing that was touched on during the tip was long shelf life. So up to 25 years if stored correctly. And I want to emphasize that if stored correctly thing, because it needs to stay in a dark, dry place. You can't just freeze dry it, put it in a Ziploc bag and hope that it's going to stay for 25 years. Ziploc bags, you're lucky, depending on what it is, you might only get a day or two out of it. Some other things you might get a little bit longer. Otherwise, you're going to have to get other things involved, like your Mylar bags. They are a thicker substance. They're going to keep out that light. If you use glass jars, it's the same thing. It's going to help keep that oxygen out. So you might need O2 absorbers or desiccants, which will keep out moisture. So they're two different things. One is for oxygen and one is for moisture. And you don't want either of those things around your freeze-dried or dehydrated things. Cookie. And then I was, again, you need it for long shelf life. it's all in the eye of the beholder. So long shelf life, as in, for me, 5 years might be a long shelf life. You don't always have to think in your head, what am I going to do? Am I really going to use this in 25 years? It could be 6 months from now. It could be 6 years from now. It doesn't have to be 25 full years. They're just saying they're guaranteeing the freshness, if you store it properly for 25 years, which is really nice because the thoughts of, we've talked about aging, we always think we need to think about our future, not just, apocalypse type of situations. And we need to think about other emergencies like job loss and things like that. Of course we do. But I also want you to think about, we were talking about just a second ago, aging, right? Okay, so another thing that's going to be harder for us as we age is to do the things that we're doing now, like gardening. We're not probably going to be able to garden the way that we used to 10 years from now. We're not going to be able to produce as much as we did. We're not going to have the stamina to preserve it the way we did. And so think about the thought of being able to grow those amazing tomatoes and green beans and squash and whatever you like to grow. And in 10 years from now, you're going to be able to have that same quality, that good product. Or if you have a bumper year or a really good pear, your pear tree is just amazing and they taste amazing, you can preserve them now versus if you can them, 10 years from now, they're going to get mushy. But if you freeze dry them and store them properly, 10 years from now, you'll be able to enjoy those pear slices either as a snack, you can put together a dessert, you can turn it back into like a sauce. It's just amazing, all the things that you could do with freeze-dried foods and what the benefits are. I could go on and on and on, but I think I'll stop for a minute and let me see what you all have been chatting about. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, there are sometimes things where we do our best, but we're too tempted. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're checking me out. Okay, let's go back and see if I have any questions. You know what I'm going to suggest to you, especially since I'm kind of on my own tonight. If you have something that you want us all to see, you definitely want me to see. If you've got a question or a comment that you feel real important and you don't want me to miss it, I mean, I'm going to do my best to watch them all and go back and see them again later if I can. But please put it in all caps if you want to grab my attention. Otherwise, I might miss you and it wouldn't be on purpose. And I still might miss you even if you do that. Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. We have a question. Favorite recipe to freeze dry? I don't have a specific recipe. It's just like when I started canning, I was an ingredient canner and I started just doing ingredients and then putting them together. So I'd say when I started out with like stuff for an omelet. And so I learned to freeze dry the eggs, the milk, the peppers, mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, all the things were separate. And then I could use them for omelets, casseroles, or whatever, And so I don't have like an actual recipe, but it's great to take the recipes you love. Like I've taken soups and things like that and freeze dried them and had that. But as far as like a specific recipe, I don't know that I have one. Here's another question. If you freeze dry multicolor carrots, do they retain the color after freeze drying? Really good question. Really good question. So I did carrots. I believe they were ones that I had canned, maybe, because I didn't want to take the time to cook them. And I was needing jars cleaned out, and that's another really good thing to do when you've got something in jars and you're wanting to can something else, because I love, like, say, canned meat. And I freeze dried it just to have for ready meals and things. They turned on me. The color changed, but that was because I stored it in a glass jar and I did not put it like in a closet or something. So I do think that it depends on the vegetable. So carrots, I'm not super versed with the multicolored carrots in general, let alone to freeze dry them. But I can tell you, like green beans, they've got the purple ones and different ones that will change green when you cook them. I think, I don't know if carrots might be the same way. Yeah, she pretty much had it all done because she planned it ahead of time. But it was really honorable of her to finish and make sure that we all got, you know, the video. I know, I know. See what I'm saying? I mean, you all know me. If you know me, you know I love preservation in all ways, and I love to can, and there's a purpose for everything, in my opinion. And but they are heavy for sure. Yes, Linda, good point on that because definitely for sure there are things, and that is why I got the freeze dryer because I wasn't happy with dehydrated eggs and milk. You couldn't do hardly any at a time. You could because you had to make such a thin layer, and the texture just wasn't my thing. It wasn't for me. So yes, there are things that are not safe to can that are safe to freeze dry. Absolutely. Um, I'm gonna try to skim through. Okay, Natalie, great question. You guys are full of good questions. I'm so excited. I wanna make sure I'm watching my time because I do wanna talk about the videos that were this week too, and then we might come back to some Q&A. There is a big difference between dehydration and freeze drying when it comes to end product. Absolutely. I wish I had props with me right now. You should see the difference of my freeze dried carrots versus my dehydrated carrots. I couldn't even use my dehydrated carrots. I probably overdid them, but they are wrinkled up and hard and they just don't reconstitute right. But my freeze dried carrots stayed the same basic shape. Like I said earlier, they changed color, but the texture with the dehydrated was leathery still, if that makes sense. Now, not all things are going to be that way, obviously. So if I like dehydrate potato slices, I love having those, and they will do good with texture for casseroles. But if I were to dehydrate, let me think. Oh, grapes. Um, I like dehydrated grapes. I like raisins. I like the end product. Freeze dried grapes are not raisins. So there's definitely a difference. And shelf life, yeah, you're going to get a lot longer shelf life out of freeze dried products than you will dehydrated. Hey, thanks for answering for me. I appreciate that because I am just not I'm just not one that really even had ability to have. Wackadoodie, that is so funny. That caught me because I don't know what you were laughing about. I probably missed it, but I was talking earlier this week. I said wackadoodle, so that caught me my eye, and I thought, who was listening to me? Hey, friend, so good to see you. Okay, okay, Penny, I'm going to. Okay, I see another one that maybe I need to ask what they mean. But Penny asked a question. Um, what would you suggest that you try doing first? What 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 interests you most? What thing would you be most interested in? For me, fruits, vegetables, and I got it from milk and eggs. I have a farm, and I wanted to be able to preserve milk and eggs, and you cannot safely can those, and freezing them just it's not the same. Um, okay, we will try to touch on that when we get to her video, but I want to get this. Do you do show and tell or just tell? Lisa, what do you mean by that? You're going to have to elaborate. Like at my live? I I'm confused. Like I didn't bring props today. No. It's just chitty chat time. That's what this is right now. All right. So now I would like to touch base on the videos that we watched this week. So I'm not going to take the time to pull up their videos. Hopefully, let me see if I can actually do that. For YouTube, and then I'll go to my channel and I'll bring up the playlist. I think I did that for us last week. And then I could get on here and I should be able to share that. Okay, there we go. It should be on there. Yeah. Okay, so here is what the playlist looks like. And so this week, oh, I have to scroll from here. This week, our first video was the Purposeful Pantry. And she calls it astronaut food. Create your own delicious astronaut ice cream for Freeze Dry February. So I tried to just pick 3 things from each video because I don't want it to take the entire hour that we get in here. Hey, Dark Lord, I just saw you slide in. So what I got out of this one the most, and I want you all to say what you liked the most about it and things that you enjoyed. Hey, Carolina, since you're here, would you like to come pop up here with me? I didn't know if you'd be able to make it. I don't know if the kids are there. I would love to have you join, and our giveaway could be from you today if you'd like to. If so, I'll email you the invite to come on, and if you can't, then that's okay too. I totally understand. All right, so back to our first one, the ice cream sandwiches. I thought it was really neat. I have my notes up here. I thought it was really neat that she did it both with and without the wrapper. That she talked about how she took the same exact ice cream bar and she got a totally different result by having the wrapper on it. So I thought that was really cool. I appreciated that. That's right, Mama Baird, Carolina. You get them. You know what? I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to see if it'll let me share this to you. Just give me 2 seconds, friends. That way it's done. And you can have the choice. So, Carolina, if you want to pop on, all you have to do, I just emailed you the invite. If you don't want to, no worries. I know life's crazy with kids. So another thing that I really liked is she showed what the end product was when she cut the ice cream and the sandwiches and what happened when she didn't cut them. I thought that was a really good experiment that she did. And then I really, really thought that it was important for her to share with you that the different brands have different ingredients in them. And so that can make a huge difference on when you freeze dry stuff on whether or not things will turn out the same or what you expect. So I thought that was really cool. So if anyone has anything to say about that, remember, okay, yeah, do exactly right here what Xander did. All caps like that. That when I got too many people in here, then I can't watch all the comments. But if you want to comment on the video that we're talking about and you want to bring attention to me, that's what's going to get it. And fair warning, trolls, because we had a few last week and we're not putting up with that this week. So anyway, JJ was on it last week though. There were things being done that I didn't even know. So y'all watch out. I got people. I got hidden people watching too today. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's a comment about it. She liked taking it to a friend with the space connection, made it personal. Yeah, and I love that she told us the story and she wore the shirt and she got really into the theme of it. I thought that was really, really nice. So I enjoyed that part too, where she was sharing her personal story and her personal life and why she was doing what she did for that reason. Okay. Here we go. Oh, yeah, she did discuss that too. I kind of forgot that she had talked about that. Thanks, Cookie. Yes, you're not really supposed to go over the lip of the tray that you put in the freeze dryer because you need to leave a little room for expansion. Marshmallows, especially if you put them in candy mode, you will really wish you had that. Okay. I see, Lisa. Okay. Some people show what they are doing and some just verbally talk about. Are you talking about the individual videos or are you talking about today's live? Okay. Oh, yay.
Oh,
Yay.
I didn't realize my hair was so
I'm so glad Caroline is here. She can help me answer questions and bring attention. And it's just so fun to talk back and forth with people. So this is great. Yeah, welcome and thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. She and I I owe her big time. So she's almost always in all my collabs. She's a good friend. She's super sweet. She's always so supportive. And she had a giveaway and we were going to get together and do the giveaway on a different day and it's just been crazy. So I'm super glad you can be here today and I think maybe that should be our giveaway today if that's okay with you. So the next video actually is your video, which was on the 3rd, and she made the muffins. And the 3 things that I took away from that, so remember guys, all caps, if you want to talk about it too, was that she used the banana puree powder. So if I remember right, did you make a video on how you made that powder? Oh, we lost her. She must have pushed the button. I kind of think she has a video on how she made the powder, but I remember her talking about it at one point. And then she also used freeze-dried raspberries. So I thought that was really good that she used those 2 different flavors together. It's interesting combination. And because she used the powder, she was able to adjust the moisture level. Oh, uh-oh. She back.
Sorry.
So, no worries. I did it last week. It was bad. I was just like, well, I just did that. Oh, well. Oh, she's freezing. She may not have good signal. Okay. So I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Better.
A little bit better. A little bit better. Well, I'll go on. We'll let her get settled in, and I'll go on and talk about the second, or about how she could adjust the liquid in there to make her batter work according to how much powder she put in there. I thought that was really good. And then the last thing that I took out of it that I really appreciated was that she has a no waste kitchen. I mean, she tries to use every bit of what she gets. And I think that's one of the best things about having a freeze dryer is that you don't really waste anything, because even if you have a little bit of leftovers, you can freeze them in a small container as long as it's flat, within that, what is it, 1-inch mark or whatever. And you can do several different trays of several different things. So, even a 1 serving of chili could be on half your tray, and then, lasagna or something on another half your tray. So you don't really have waste. And I love that because she kind of always does that with all her stuff. She uses it to the best that she can. But my question was to you, did you have a video on making the banana puree powder?
Yeah, it's probably been a while ago. I think I've had that for a year and a half now. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that you had made a video on that. And so maybe I'll find it and put it on my community tab or something to bring it back to attention of which
yeah,
one
I'll
it was.
find it and send it to you so you don't gotta
Yeah,
search.
I remember seeing you do that, and I was like, I need to do that rather than just, the circles.
Yeah, it was when it was in the blender and it all like the powder. I lifted the lid up and I was like, "Ooh, that's banana-y."
Yeah. But that's something I've really not done, is powdered any of my fruits or anything.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, it takes up even less space though when you do it that way.
Yeah, and what made me think of it is because I didn't really like eating the banana. I don't like eating a freeze-dried banana. I don't, a little bit here and there, but and I had so much because I got a whole case from our food bank that was super ripe and about to go bad. So I took the whole case home and I freeze-dried it. And so I was like, well, this is a lot of bananas. So I was like, well, let me just turn it into a powder, especially if I use it for baking,
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. And I almost was wondering, like, could a person put that in with frostings? Like, if I was making a banana cake and you could put banana powder in with the frosting on top of it, or strawberry or whatever, I think that would be good too.
That would be good. I was thinking about doing it as a layer on something too, like a cake. You could just like sprinkle it or something.
Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see.
Well, my internet is not the best, so I'm probably going to let you go. But I just wanted to pop in.
I appreciate it, and I understand completely. And at the end of the day, if she's here or not here, we all want to please, real quick, in case she has to dive out, make sure you say thank you, because I think we will go ahead and I try to do a giveaway each live, and it's going to be a spatula set from her. So everybody say thank you real quick before she slips out. She may be in the chat off and on, but still, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
popping
Angela.
on. Appreciate you coming to visit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if anyone. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully everything goes good. I'm so glad you could come check some of the live out too. We need to catch up for real. Actually, this wasn't it's okay. All good. Okay. So I don't see any more all caps here. Thank you. Yes, we'll leave that up for a little bit. So then on the 4th, we had Grow and Preserve. And the video that she did was everyday meals using freeze-dried food. And she made a frittata. And, I don't know that I've ever made a frittata. So I really enjoyed learning how to make that, because I've always done like omelets or bakes. But a frittata, I guess you bake the bottom or you kind of pan fry the bottom and then you bake the rest of it. And I thought that was really cool. So the 3 things that I got out of that video that I really enjoyed was that meal prep was done. That really hit me, because you can take one day, like Carolina was saying, I had a case of bananas. What was I going to do with them? I had to find ways to use it. So you get a surplus of your garden and you have all these peppers, or in the spring when your chickens are laying all these eggs, or you find a sale and you have all these mushrooms, and you can go ahead and prep them and clean them all at once and freeze dry them. And then you can use them in whatever recipe you want. So like she was saying, she didn't have to have that ham getting all messy all over and have different cutting boards out and all the different things. Her meal prep was done, and all she had to do was put it together. I thought that was genius. And then the other thing was the no rehydration needed. Seriously. Wow. I was like, Of course, because the egg would kind of soak it up and then turn around and cook in there. And I thought, oh, that was super smart. And then the no mess cleanup, especially for breakfast, because kind of like your zombie mode anyway when you wake up. And so the last thing you want to do is try to have one more mess to deal with. And yes, exactly. Easy cleanup. No big meal prep. And I did not skip you. I saw this. Are there things that you should never freeze dry or have bad results? We're going to touch on that later. If I can have time at the end of today, I will. Otherwise, I believe I'm going to have a video just on this in the future, probably at the end of the month, I'm thinking. But if I can possibly get to it at the end of the video or the end of the live today, I will circle back around to that. I want to make sure I highlight each video that was brought out this week. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Jan. Okay, so then on the 5th, we had the Provident Prepper. And I think I saw someone in the chat up above mention that video, that they really enjoyed that one. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to take the time. I'm not going to take the time to scroll up there and find it, but if you want to say it again, please do. And like you said, do it in all caps or I probably won't catch it. But they did the survival kit. And what I took out of that, the 3 things, I mean, there's so much to be taken out of all of this. I'm definitely not seeing all the comments. Okay, see, look, this is how technical I am. I have this device to the side and I'm seeing I may be missing some of your comments for whatever reason. I have no idea why, because Natalie, no, I answered you. Okay. Whew. I don't want to miss anybody if I can. So they had a his and her kit. And I thought that was so smart. I mean, her dietary needs and his dietary desires are completely different. And I thought that was so smart because right now, yeah, we're all thinking the same. Right now, the farmer and I are eating a little bit differently. He's doing the no sugar, no grain. And so he is not eating exactly the way I am because I am not 100% on board. I still sometimes like to eat some of those things. And so I don't always do that, but yeah. Okay. I'm so glad YouTube brought this attention to you. I saw all caps love, Provident Prepper, grab and go pail, so helpful. Oh, good for you. You ordered some stuff. And you like the buckets too. Oh, you crack me up. She always has chocolate. You know what? She's a girl after my own heart. Yeah, and the fire starter and mess kit. I thought that was important too, that they mentioned that, because if you do want to warm up your freeze-dried food and you don't have water, which I think might have been a question in the comments a little bit ago too, about that. But that was super smart. And they showed you the life water so that if you had to go get water out of a stream, how you could use that. Oh, I feel like I've messed some up. Okay, we're going to come to that one is next. Sage and Stone is. I'm not there yet. Yes, I agree, Connie. I agree. Okay, so the third thing I got off of, the second thing off of the Provident Prepper was portion size when they were packaging. Because that's another thing that we you want to talk about too, is packaging. Portion size. If you get, it's cheaper to get, let's see, can you see me? The really big Mylar bags are so much cheaper. But then if you put, 3 days worth of food in there, you got to have a way to seal that back or it's going to go bad. So he was talking about how they had the gusseted bags and they would, they could literally use that to warm up their food, like say chili just comes to mind. We'll say there's chili in there. He had a shrimp rice thing or whatever. So you put your hot water in there, you wrap your towel around it, and you let it rehydrate. And well, once it's rehydrated, you need to eat it within a certain amount of time. So you don't want to have a huge package unless you're feeding a family, which was another thing that they talked about, which is the third thing that I gleaned from that, was to have extras. So resources for extra people, like if you have family around. Or my thought was when they said there was something that they had 3 of, like silverware, I think it was. And I thought to myself, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you don't have any access to water to wash them or whatever, you would still have clean, sanitary silverware that you could use. And then they talked about other basics like the little stoves and the scissors to cut the bags open with, because, you know, if you're hurt or injured, are you going to be able to open the bags? So I thought that was super smart too. So I've got a couple comments we'll get to here. Is that yes, and if a disaster happens and they are separated to each other, they get to stay healthy and eating foods that you know. I mean, I just thought that was great. And the buckets are awesome because we go kayaking usually every year, and those buckets will typically float. So, you know, if you're in a flood or something, those buckets are going to float and they're going to stay pretty much waterproof, and you're going to still be able to get to your supplies that are in there. I thought that was really smart to put them in those buckets versus the old one that they were showing was some sort of metal, I think. Where and how you store your freeze-dried food. That was really good too. Oh, awesome. I am so excited that you got some questions answered for you tonight. I'm going to take a little sip here of my cocoa, and then I'm going to move you a little bit so I can get to my board here. So on the 6th, we had Sage and Stone Homestead, and someone was just talking about that. So I'll go see if I can find that, and we'll put that one up there. Whoop, and I accidentally tapped it. So anyone that watched her video, if you have, you can start putting in questions on that now. So she made the zesty southern peas. And, you know, it's so hard to find what 3 things I'm going to choose to share with you that I gleaned. So I'm really glad that you guys are being so super interactive with me and getting conversations going. But I thought that it was so great that she found a high protein snack that was healthy and kid approved. I mean, her kids loved it. And that's big, because sometimes kids just want the junk stuff. And so finding something that, you know, high protein and delicious. Heather snack peas looked so good. I love that you can change the flavor by changing the spices. Healthy snack. Yeah. I immediately went to like ranch thoughts, you know, like get some buttermilk powder and some, you know, different herbs. And I'm like, I love ranch. So I thought that was awesome. Or maybe like wasabi. I mean, wow. My mind was going all over. Okay. So that could be my fault. I went a whole day before I realized that I had tapped the button twice. So I added her to the playlist, and then I accidentally unadded her. So she had about a 12 to 24-hour window there where she wasn't on the playlist. So that's me. So go back and make sure you're checking that playlist, because I totally messed that up. Ooh, I like the way you think. Ooh. The second thing that I kind of enjoyed during this video, and what I really hit home to me, was she mentioned right there in the beginning that she is growing what she's eating. And that's really important to them to do that. And so these were a mixture of different beans or peas that she grew in her garden, and she wanted to find a way to use them for snacking. And I just thought that was really awesome, because she didn't spend any extra money, and, you know, you work hard to grow these things. And if you watch her channel, she does a really good job with gardening and things. And so that was really cool. And then it wasn't what her video was necessarily about, but she briefly talked a little bit about supplements. And we actually had a channel who was going to do a video on supplements, and they had something come up, unfortunately, and were not able to put out a video. And so I do want to talk about this just slightly. They were going to do specifically liver supplements, which in Sage and Stone's Zesty Southern Pea video, she briefly talks about how she likes to freeze dry livers and greens for supplements because that's something she's purchasing. And now she does, that's one less thing that she has to purchase away from her homestead. And so I think that was really cool to think about. You know, we always think, oh, I'm going to freeze dried food or I'm going to freeze dried candy. Think outside the box. Okay, we're freeze drying for nutrition and supplements. And, you know, even I don't have anyone this year that's going to, but we've even talked about freeze drying like flowers for decorations. And, you know, you can get way out there on the things that you can do with freeze drying. Let's see. Go back to my I've got 2 pages of notes here. Let's see if I can get this to not fall. Well, maybe not. So let's see if I have any comments I missed. Yeah, I felt really, really bad about that. That was 100% me. Hey, Killer Smurf. Oh, here we go. Found 10 pounds of hamburger at the bottom of the freezer and decided to make meatloaf. Cooked it, sliced it, and freeze-dried. 5-minute hydrate, and it was terrific. Deb, perfect timing. So we've got one more video before this, but our video from today, if you didn't see that, was about the meatloaf. So come back, and you might be able to give us a little bit of advice on that. Leanne, I don't know if I said hi to you when you came in, but I saw you and I saw the wrench. So I'm so glad you're here. If I didn't say that already, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. And I know you're going to whack those trolls. So no naughties today. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. The grandies would eat the flowers, probably, depending on what flower it is. You know, there are flowers out there that are edible. I have a friend who loves nasturtium. And I feel like there was one other flower. Oh, here we go. I like the way you think. So those peas or beans, I think you could do this with even like black beans or something as a salad or soup topping like croutons. I love that. I love that so much. I love freeze drying tomatoes in chunks. But, you know, they're wet when you slice them, and I put dried basil on them, and it'll all, or you can use fresh basil too, but it'll all dry and it'll stick to it. They make the best croutons too. So good. Okay, see if I missed anybody else. Pansies. That's the one I was thinking of. Sorry, no, Alfonso, I don't. Okay, so then on the 7th, we had the home in Homestead, and she did fruities. And I was like, fruities, what? When she put it on the calendar, what she was making, I'm like, what is she talking about? Like fruit or what? Fruities, you know, Tootsie Rolls that are fruit flavored. I forgot about those when I was a kid. I forgot about those completely. So, sorry, scroll moment. Purple clover is edible as well. You know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. So what she showed us that we hadn't seen yet is how you can take those really hard to freeze dry things, those stubborn candies that just don't want to work right, by putting them in the oven. Sometimes you can persuade them to do what you want them to do in the freeze dryer. And so I thought it was really cool that she showed us that. And I also noticed the second thing was that she separated all the colors, which is totally by choice. But because of that, she was able to pinpoint a few things. The purple did not do the same as the other colors. Was it what shelf she put it on? Or was it because of the dye in the purple? Because that was a good point that I thought she brought out, was Not all ingredients will do the same. There are some that even within the same bag of candy will do different because they're slightly different ingredients. So I thought that was really cool. Oh, if you like dehydrated corn, I love dehydrated corn too. I really do. But freeze-dried is really good in ramen too. Oh my goodness, yes. I have a video where I froze some, I freeze-dried some, I dehydrated some, and I canned some. And I like them all, but I like them all for different reasons. And it's very unique in what it is. Okay. And then the last thing I got off that was that she showed us a little bit more about the settings. So like actually using the machine, she kind of explained and showed what the candy mode was all about. So I thought that was really good. Hey, Tater. And then we have one more video, and I cannot believe our hour is almost up, you guys. So our very last video came out today, and that was by Freeze Dry Society. And she did comfort food. And what was ideally comfort food for her is meatloaf. And meatloaf is one of those ones that's kind of, hard to know how to freeze dry because it's thick. And will it reach the middle to get done? Does it take longer? And with rehydrating, how do you do that properly? So someone was up here a little bit ago talking about how they did it. Here it is. So Deb found that the best way that she liked to rehydrate was just a 5-minute hydration. So tell me, Deb, how did you hydrate? Just in a bowl of water? Did you use a wet paper towel? Did you steam it? Let us know a little bit more about that. I would love to know. So on the video from today, what she did is she steamed it. She took a steamer to rehydrate it. And then she did put a little water on top. And I thought that was genius. And if you don't have a steamer basket like she has, my thought was, I have a colander, a stainless steel colander. I could put it in on top of boiling water and it would rehydrate it. I also liked that she talked about when you're freeze drying for a comfort food, you want to freeze dry what is comfort to you, what tastes good to you. Like she talked about her mama's meatloaf. And, maybe you're not a meatloaf person. Don't freeze dry meatloaf then. If you are more of a chicken pot pie, freeze dry the filling for a chicken pot pie. You know what I mean? So find what is going to be good for you because these emergencies aren't always the apocalyptical, worst case scenario. Sometimes it's just, I've got influenza and I don't want to cook for a week and nothing sounds good. But if you have a little bit of that pot pie filling, you could either turn that into a soup. I just had a friend, I don't know if she's still in the chat, but she was telling me about chicken pot pie soup. And I thought, oh, that would be really good. And to me, that would be comfort. Like I like a warm, soupy thing. And because with freeze drying, when you go to rehydrate it, if originally it was something thick, like a thick pie consistency, but I wanted to turn it into a soup, I could add more water or milk or whatever to thin it out to that soup's consistency. I just love that. And then the last thing that I took from that video that she was kind of really talking about was test batches. So she said, I could fit more meatloaf on here, but I don't know if I really like meatloaf. And so I don't really want to do all of my meatloaf until we know we like it. So I thought that was a really smart thing. Oh, sorry, that's still up there. I thought that was a really smart thing to discuss also. So, I mean, we've had some really, really, really great videos this week. Yes. Where is this at? I just happened to catch it. I know the name of her. I have not named my freeze dryer yet. Isn't that terrible? I've had it for, gosh, at least 4 years now, probably. And I never named mine. Mr. Freezy, maybe. I don't know what I should call it. But Vanilla Ice was genius. Put it in a Dutch oven along with some chicken stock and gravy. Yeah, exactly. That would be amazing. Okay, here's one that meatloaf was in separate slices so you can have for dinner. Great for a single person. Exactly. So it doesn't have to be this huge process. It could even be, I have 2 slices of meatloaf left. I've had meatloaf for 3 days in a row. I'm sick of it. And you can just stick it in the freezer. And the next time you're filling your freeze dryer, you just put those 2 slices of meatloaf on one of those trays. I love it. Okay, Deb, thank you for responding. Enough cold water to cover meatloaf slice, approximately a ½ inch thick for 5 minutes, then microwave for 30 seconds to warm. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, hey, you never told me that, Leanne. That's awesome. Very exciting that you got to do that. You're going to have to let us know when you try them out and what you do with them. All right. So I can't believe it. Guys, we've reached our hour and I haven't even talked yet about, I'm going to quickly, very, very quickly, at least acknowledge the questions that I got last week. Dairy, specifically cheese. There's a video coming out, I promise. We talked about dairy with the ice cream, but there is a cheese video coming out very soon. Dehydrating versus freeze drying. I need to do a video. I'm going to do a video on things I do and don't like and maybe explain dehydrating versus freeze drying. But last year, my very first video in last year's collaboration, go to that playlist and I kind of explained some of those things. Nuts. That's something we've not talked about. They are not meant for extreme long-term storage like your 25 years. You're not going to get that. But by freeze drying them, you're going to pull out some of that oil and it's going to help preserve them for a little bit longer. Typically, I put mine in the freezer. Corn, we kind of touched base on it today. I don't remember what the question was. And then just rehydrating. And it's just kind of a process of playing around with rehydrating because each recipe can be just a little bit different. Now, love that. So we have a vacuum, Rosie Roomba. All right. So if y'all will give me a few seconds, maybe, okay, I want to get this out of the way. Make sure that you all understand that this collaboration is hosted by me and that YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, nobody is responsible for it. I'm just putting it together myself. The main contributor is Harvest Right. They are giving away a freeze dryer. To enter to win the freeze dryer, you need to go to their special link, and you'll find that link in the bottom of each and every single video. They should have that link. People are asking me, how many times can you enter? It was supposed to be set up that you could enter multiple times. If that doesn't work for you, it may just be the way the system is set up. I'm not sure. I've had some people tell me they can only enter once, but I think other people are entering more than once. So without me being there to see exactly what you're doing, I can't say 100% for sure. But if there's a link, I would click it and I would enter it. Okay, that's my suggestion to you. And then I have additional prizes that are donated by additional companies. And that's what that video is in the very, very, very beginning of the different things that you can win. And speaking of winning, I'll go ahead and give you the hashtag spatula, SPATULA. If you want to all put in hashtag spatula, we're going to give away a spatula set tonight. I don't have a picture and I don't have it set up. So with your all caps, if you have questions, make sure you start writing them in there for me. And I will try to either attack them next week or I want to, okay, yes, thank you. Who was first? Elaine. Okay, everybody do that to enter. I'm going to leave that up until I can get it in the system right. But I want to make sure that you all understand. Oh, I don't know. My brain just lost. I don't know. I shouldn't try to do anything else, I guess. So let me go into the comment picker here and giveaway tool while you guys are doing that. No, I don't need a all right, sorry guys. We have 27 entries, it says so far. So now I'll go back and I can share it so that you can, okay. So now that that's going, I do want to talk about, I don't know. I felt like there was something else I needed to discuss. Oh, questions. Make sure you leave any questions that, because some of you are going to be watching this from different devices. I think everyone today is on YouTube, but I have had a couple on Rumble in the past and Facebook watching and asking questions later. So after this is gone, after the live is over, if you're watching this as a replay, welcome. But I also want you to leave all your questions down below because I will do my best. Like I took my notes here today and I'm going to do my best to get to all those questions and try to answer those for you. Okay, here we go. I love the meatloaf was, oh, we've already done that one. Oh, wow, Sue. I started to learn pantry building in 2019. My husband passed in 21, and my pantry saved me because I was not back to work. And wow, what a bittersweet story. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Woohoo! Yes, I saved, I think, for 2 years for mine. Yeah. It is an investment for sure. Linda, you're doing a great job. You're bringing knowledge to ways to preserve your food. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, I love to be able to do that. I think everyone else is just spatula. Okay. So let's see, we've got 49, almost 50 in the house tonight. We've got 49. Share screen. See how many of you have signed up. 31 of you have signed up. So I'm pretty sure this has to be inside the US to win. And that's another thing. Most prizes are going to be US or US Canada, I think, for the most part. And so if anyone wins anything outside of the US, I will do something, whether it be like a gift card or something like that. We'll work out something for any of the prizes other than the harvest right. That is separate. Hello, anything and everything. Welcome in. Okay, so I think we're about ready to draw. Okay, so here we go. Let's see who it's going to be. And it is Cindy. Congratulations. If you will email me, let's see if I can find the banner. It is The Inquisitive Farm Wife. Here it is. See, I double click buttons and I don't mean to do it. The Inquisitive Farm Wife at gmail.com. So you get that email sent to me. I'll forward it on and we can get your prize sent out to you. Let us take that down. There we go. Let's And I'm going to get rid of this and this. Go back to the comments. Yay, congratulations. Okay, guys, we are past the hour, and I really want to try to keep these at an hour each week. I will hope to see you all next week. Each Saturday, we will go over the previous week's videos. On the first will be the grand giveaway, and I'm not sure. I don't want to miss those videos. I'm not sure if I'll have a video on that Friday for the giveaway and then turn back around on Saturday and do the videos, or if we'll just try to squeeze it all into one. I haven't decided yet. You all let me know maybe what you think. But until next week, make sure that you're staying involved and you are watching all those videos, and you come back here next week with all the questions and comments about last week's videos. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time.